My opinions on the King of the Kaiju are no secret. One look at my channel and you'll see Goji galore. So when I heard that there was a new teaser coming for Godzilla Minus One, my heart nearly skipped a beat. I don't really keep up with Japanese news, so I didn't even know one was coming. I just saw it trending on Twitter. And let me tell you, when I saw the teaser, I was shaking. My anticipation for this film was through the roof. My hypometer was reaching critical levels of overexcitement, and I couldn't help but think, good God, this gargantuan Godzilla goes crazy over Japan. And it's crazy because by modern standards, it's not even that big of a Godzilla design, but he felt big. He doesn't need to be 150 meters tall. 150 feet is more than enough. And then an actual trailer came not long after, and when this one dropped, I saw his dorsal fins weren't only lighting up, but they started popping out of his back. I think I woke up 3 days later somewhere in New Mexico having married a sheep. It was wild. Never overdose on hype. Trust me, it wasn't a pleasant experience. Once I could finally get myself home, a couple months passed, I divorced the sheep. I'm sorry, but holy heckin' shit, it was time. I dashed to the theater, took some tickets, sat in my seat, wriggled and giggled in anticipation, and then my life changed. Prior to this monstrous masterpiece, I had said Shin was my shining star of Toho's Goji. That's because I've always found much more enjoyment in Godzilla as a folly of man rather than Godzilla versus somebody movies. It's not that I don't like those, I do. They're a huge part of Goji's mythos, but I will always prefer Godzilla versus the world or the world versus Godzilla with some strong message. In 1954's Gojira, Godzilla was a stand-in for nuclear devastation, with shots directly inspired by post-war Japan, both from the firebombings and the nuclear detonations over Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And much like those horrible things, there was a trail of devastation left in the monster's wake. And the ending speaks to the horrors of escalation and how we're always building new monsters. In 2016, Shin Gojira spoke to a more modern sensibility with a new political culture and climate. The monster was a stand-in more for the incompetence of bureaucracy, referencing Japan's slow response time to the Fukushima nuclear disaster, as well as other government slow responses to climate change. Godzilla here isn't as much a creature of nuclear war, but rather a walking natural disaster, with many of the shots directly inspired by photos and videos of tsunamis and earthquakes. Godzilla is an ever-changing, pertinent threat that the world simply keeps pushing back, thinking somebody else can take care of it until it's too late. And then, they can't stop him. So they treat the symptoms of their failure rather than curing it. They freeze him, and you're just left to live with it. So that's the bar I was holding Minus One 2 in my head. Shin Godzilla is one of my absolute favorite films of all time, and it's by far my favorite Goji film. So to beat it, it wasn't a humble task. And so I sat down, finished Godzilla Minus One, and my god, Zilla had been dethroned. Godzilla Minus One is a deeply intriguing film, and director Takashi Yamazaki absolutely nailed not only the design, mannerisms, and everything else about Godzilla, but he matched the terror of the original. He found a way to tell a deep period piece about the horrors of war, brutalities of the imperialist regime in World War II Japan, PTSD, survivor's guilt, rebuilding only to fail, and so much more. All while being a Godzilla movie. Absolutely incredible task, sold by an incredible cast. If you haven't seen this film yet, please do. I'm not sure how much longer it'll be in theaters, but if it is in theaters where you live, go see it on the big screen. You will be missing out if you don't. This was a crazy theatrical experience. Every gunshot was explosive. Every beat of the beast's feet shook the room. When he roared, I felt it in my chest, and I've never been to a film like that. The terror of Godzilla is real. You feel for these human characters more than ever before. In Shin Godzilla, the human characters are caricatures by comparison. They're incompetent fools satirizing the government's bureaucratical process. You're not meant to care for them as much. But here, everyone's worth caring about. The human story alone would have made an incredible film, and that's why it works. Minus One, more than any previous Godzilla film, has made me genuinely sad to see our human protagonists scared, afraid, or in danger. You want to see them succeed, and you want to see them win. You want to see their lives turn around for the better. But for our main character, Koichi Shikishima, that's not his life anymore. A failed kamikaze pilot, he feels like he not only lost his honor there, but when presented with the ability to stop a proto-Godzilla, he fails again. In his head, this has caused the death of thousands of people. And then when he finally gets home, He's treated as a pariah for not dying for a losing war. To top it all off, once he finally starts turning his life around, Godzilla returns. I can't go into the film anymore without getting into spoiler territory, and I can't do that to you. You have to experience it. This isn't some action spectacle like the legendary Godzilla series. It is a deeply human film with an edge of near eldritch horror. And for that, it is the best Godzilla film. And it's my favorite film of 2023. Godzilla Minus One gets a 10 out of 10. You have to watch this on the biggest screen you can with the biggest speakers you can find. But that's all I can say for now. Join me next time when I take a look at my past favorite, Shin Godzilla. While you're here, help a friend out. Peep the description and there's a GoFundMe link. Anything helps. Let me know what you thought of the film down below. Leave a like, subscribe for more stuff, and as always, thank you.